Today, we're going to answer the question, what it is that we built. What is this AI application, this AI agent? What does it do? How does it work? And how could it be good for the person, the community, and have a positive externalities, positive knock-on effect? We're using a concept very similar to Ikigai. Ikigai works by exploring your life's path, your life's focus, and trying to have a focus that is good for you, that is beneficial to the individual, that is also beneficial to the society. So win-win in that way. But it also looks at things that you enjoy doing, that you're naturally good and talented at, things that you're passionate about, and things that are needed by the world. And so we're looking at a multi-layered approach when it comes to looking at our own goals and our own purpose. Finding our own individual purpose within the collective, and trying to find the areas of the collective that we personally want to address and help the most in, is how we get to a place where we can have positive externalities. And here, we can think of AI as a tool that helps us become efficient at going from point A to point B. So in some way, AI is best thought of as an execution tool, okay? And so what really matters then when you have a really powerful execution tool is that your goal and your aims are proper, that you're aiming in and going in the right direction. Because if you end up having a really powerful tool and you aim it in the wrong direction, you're just going to end up going in the wrong direction really, really fast. You're going to be really efficient in going in the wrong way. And so what we want to do is spend more time focusing on where we want to head. We created the system that helps you gain awareness, the individual, on how to do that. And this system is multi-layered. It looks at a number of different aspects. The first things that it looks at is the personality. So when you're living in the world, one way that you filter and interact with the world and that you perceive it is through your personality traits. And so depending on your big 5 personality traits, you perceive the world a little bit differently. For example, if you're very extroverted, you're naturally going to perceive social interaction. You're going to have a higher appreciation, enjoyment of social interaction. You're going to gain more value out of social interaction. You're going to solve a lot of your problems through social interaction. And whenever you're in an environment of social interaction, you're going to get a dopamine boost. So you get rewarded. The reward circuits in your brain light up when you go out and talk to people. One way extroverts solve problems is by picking up the phone, calling, texting, meeting people, and discovering good answers through their network. Now, on the flip side, if you're really high in openness, if you're very creative, you're going to solve problems through doing research, through creating a project, and you're going to go about it that way. And if you're conscientious, you're going to be very meticulous, and you're going to follow a well-structured, well-known path that works towards achieving your goal. And so those are just a couple of examples of how we use personality as a tool set to help us achieve our goals. And the thing that we're moving towards, okay, the goals that we're moving towards, those are related to our values and our beliefs. When we really want and value something, and we also believe that we can attain it, it becomes part of our set of goals. And so then we use our personality to start moving towards those sort of goals. That will be in multiple dimensions in your life. When we look at our lives, we have a few different areas that we really want to get right. We want to get our health right. We want to have our relationships right. We want to have our career right and our financial right. And we also want to have our relationship with ourself aligned. What we want to do is we want to improve in each of these 4 or 5 areas. And so this is where the AI comes in to help. It helps you become insightful and gain self-awareness in terms of what your big 5 traits are and what type of strategies are most conducive for you to move towards your goals. It does a values assessment, and this values assessment is going to give you insight into what you actually value and you feel inherently motivated to move towards. And then the other things it does is it helps you explore your beliefs, because if you really want to move towards something, if you have high value towards it, but you don't believe you can attain it, you're not going to move towards it. It's always going to be something that it's out there for some other person to go after. Or you might have some other story that explains why you're not going after that really valuable goal. So the beliefs are either going to be empowering or they could be very limiting. An empowering belief will really push you and motivate you and give you energy towards moving towards those goals. In a nutshell, this is how the system works. On one end, we look at personality and how personality is used to move towards the goals. And then on the other things, we're looking at what those goals are, what the values are that underpin those goals, and what the beliefs are that are related to it. And this is a simplified version of the system. Now, it goes up a level from here because all of this ultimately comes up and is related to your identity, who you believe you are, and what your relationship is with the world and reality itself, and your community. And so what we want to do is we want to align with goals and a vision of ourselves that goes and extends beyond just ourselves. Because even though we live individual lives, we're not just merely individuals. We're far more than just a little old me. For example, as you expand outward, you'll notice that almost everything that you would consider me or mine is also related to the we. An example of this would be like the language we're speaking right now. We inherited our language. We inherited a lot of the ideas within our language. The way we see the world comes through language. Our cultural values is something that we learned, and so on. Those are just a couple of examples of where the me and the we merge and where they meet. So now, without further ado, let's jump in. One of the projects, the one that we're doing right now, is called Personality NFT. And so what this focuses on is your personality. And these are some of the agents that we build. Pathfinder AI, dating coach, fitness trainer. Again, it relates to the different parts of one's life, how to improve those parts. And it takes an individualized, personalized approach because it takes the person's personality traits into account. How we are motivated to move towards our goals. So what I did is I built a bunch of these back in January and launched them. I had about 83 of these bots. What we saw was that a lot of people were talking to certain bots more than others. And then we decided to productize those set of features. Another aspect of this, and I'm sure that you're probably thinking about it, and that is privacy, right? Everyone wants to own their own data, and not only own their own data, but also control who and what gets access to it. And this is why we made privacy an integral part of the project. And the way that works is that we have an NFT. The NFT is live now. It's on Ethereum, and Ethereum is just really, really expensive. So we're going to relaunch the NFT, make it really cheap so anyone can get one. And the benefit of the NFT is that we could put the data on the NFT, and then since it's on the blockchain, you know that you own it, but no one else does. No one knows whose address that is. And so you have this double benefit. On one end, it's complete and total privacy. On the other end, you have ownership and there's transparency, and then you can also decide who and what applications you share that information with. So here is what that NFT looks like. And what we have is here on the front of the card represents your values and your worldview, how you see the world, what you believe to be true about the world, the things that you're moving towards. And the back of the card shows your big 5 traits and what your scores are for each of these traits. And so around this, we built an application. I'll show that to you next, but first, I'll show you one of these bots. And this is a bot that we built that answers questions about personality. So if you have any questions about personality, you can just come here to the Trait Talk and it will answer those questions. Now, the application we built is on Telegram. It's a Telegram bot. And we chose Telegram for a number of reasons, but I'll share with you what it looks like. So here we are. What this app does is you can come here, you can take the personality assessment, the Big 5 test. This is the first assessment that we launched with, and this is what the MVP looks like. You have the Big 5 test. We're going to have more tests coming down the line, including the values assessment. After you take the test, what you can do is you can come over to chats and you can ask AI questions about your personality. This is where AI has a big advantage. It's been trained on all of these papers that have been published in the field of psychology and personality theory. And so it has a nuanced statistical relationship between these different concepts. And for example, when you look at your personality traits, there's going to be a trait that you're really high in, and that trait is going to manifest itself in the world in really positive ways and it give you many great strengths. but it's also going to give you some weaknesses. And whether it's a strength or a weakness is going to depend on what environment you're in. And this is where AI can help you. It can help you gain insight into why you excel in certain environments, why you struggle with certain things. And then also when you have interpersonal conflict, that could be explained by 2 or more traits that are either conflicting with each other in a negative way. For example, you might want to start a business but be really afraid about it. You might be really high in openness and creative and want to try new things. But at the same time, you might just be higher in neuroticism and be concerned about failure and sawing off the very brand that you're sitting on, right? And going into the unknown and trying something new for the first time is inherently risky, and most new ideas fail. So you could see how this internal conflict of pulling a person in 2 different directions, and that happens within us. So this is another area that AI can give you insight. It can also give you insight into relationship and conflicts. For example, it looks at your personality traits, and then you can describe the other person's personality, and the AI will ask you some questions, and then try to have an informed guess. Or if they took the test, it can give you insight into your combination. And so that would be like right here under network. Then you can see what your match score is. You can ask AI questions about that match, and then you can share it with anyone you want to see what your match or compatibility score is, and gain insights simply by both of you taking the test. Then the other thing we can do with AI is we can do career advice. So depending on your personality traits, certain careers, certain types of jobs, certain types of work are going to be really appealing to you, and some of them will be really off-putting. And AI can give you a lot of clarity in terms of the type of roles and jobs that are suitable for you. The other cool thing about this career advice AI is that it not only can give you insight into what types of jobs are going to be good for you, but if you give it your resume and your work history and your education, it can narrow it down even further. Because if you're really high in openness, like you're going to be interested in, let's say, creative pursuits, right? But it's a really wide category. By giving it your resume or giving it your education, you're narrowing it down. Now, the other thing it can do is it can help write cover letters. It could help update your resume. And in the future, if this proves to be something that people really want, what we can do is we can hook it up with some of the job APIs, so it can actually pull in real jobs that are available in the moment and help you apply for them. Then we also have a dream interpretation AI. Dream interpretation is really important because the whole thing is created by us, right? It's your imagination and it's your consciousness that are producing your dream. The world that we're projecting in our own imagination tells us a lot about ourselves. We also have a personal growth AI, and this personal growth AI is designed to help you become more self-reflective. And personal growth really has 2 dimensions. The first dimension is personal development. Personal development is learning new skills and capabilities in order to improve your life, the quality of your life. Whether that is learning, going to university, for example, or reading a book, it's additive in nature. Then personal growth is, instead of looking outward, looking inward. And you're looking in and you're seeing what are some of the things that are holding you back that you could eliminate. And so it's subtractive in nature. One looks out to add things, the other one looks in to subtract things. The personal growth AI is designed to help you ask deeper questions about your identity, about your beliefs, about the things that you value in life, and to show you how those things are interrelated and how it is that these 3 things, your identity, your values, and your beliefs, bring about and shape your relationship with the world. This is what that looks like now. And then we've tried to gamify it by having levels and invites and missions and orbs. I'm going to have a link to the bot in the description so you can play around with it and provide feedback. And hopefully I will see you in there. If you have any questions about this project, ask me on Substack. That's the best place for us to connect. Thank you for watching till the end. Subscribe and hit the bell so you get the next video where I'll be sharing with you some of our early subscriber numbers. See you in the next one.